I used to believe that honesty could save everything. That if you cared enough to bare your soul, if you were brave enough to tell the truth, the person you love would meet you halfway. I carried that belief into my relationship with Claire. For 3 years, she had been my constant. Her laugh filling my empty spaces, her touch grounding me when life felt too heavy. I thought we had the kind of love people envy. But the night she sat across from me at our kitchen table, hands trembling as she cupped her coffee, I learned that confessions don't always save you. Sometimes they destroy you. It started small, like hairline cracks in glass. Claire withdrawing into herself. Nights where she claimed she was too tired to talk. Mornings where she left early without a kiss. I noticed, of course, but I told myself she was stressed, overworked, maybe just tired of routine. I didn't want to push her, but silence is loud. It fills every room until it presses against your chest, suffocating you with what's left unsaid. So, when she finally said, "We need to talk," one Friday night, I almost felt relieved. At least the silence was over. "I have to tell you something," Claire began, voice cracking. She didn't look at me, her eyes fixed on the dark swirl of her coffee. My stomach sank, but I reached for her hand anyway. "Whatever it is, we'll figure out," I said, because that's what you're supposed to say. She finally met my gaze, and what I saw there terrified me. Guilt. Deep, raw, suffocating guilt. "I've been seeing someone else," she whispered. The words knocked the air out of me. For a moment, I thought I misheard. I wanted to, but her tears, the way her shoulders collapsed inward, confirmed everything. My world cracked. I pulled my hand back like her skin burned. "What do you mean, seeing someone else?" My voice was steadier than I expected. "It wasn't supposed to happen," she rushed out. "It started as just a friendship. I was lonely. You were always busy. And then one night, it crossed a line. I told myself it was a mistake, that I'd stop, but I didn't. It's been a few months." Months. The word hit harder than the confession itself. My mind scrambled, piecing together every odd detail I'd ignored. The late nights, the sudden new clothes, her smile when she checked her phone. The truth had been there, waiting, and I'd been too blind or too trusting to see it. I stood, pacing because sitting still felt impossible. "So what? You confess now and we... What? Move on? Pretend this didn't happen?" Claire wiped her cheeks, shaking her head. "No, that's why I'm telling you. I don't think we can fix this. I don't think I can fix myself enough to give you what you deserve." And that's when it hit me. Her confession wasn't a plea for forgiveness. It was her goodbye. I wanted to scream, to demand she fight for us the way I would have. But all I could do was laugh, hollow and bitter. "So you wreck us, then walk away?" That's it. Her sob was answer enough. That night, I packed a bag and left. Not because I wanted to, but because staying in that apartment with her, where every corner held a memory we'd now poisoned, was unbearable. I drove without destination, ending up at a cheap motel off the highway. I lay awake staring at the ceiling, the sound of her voice replaying in my head. "I've been seeing someone else." I thought about the years we shared, the promises we made, the future we planned. How could love collapse so quickly? How could truth, something I once worshipped, be the weapon that tore it all apart? Weeks passed, and friends tried to console me with cliches. "You'll heal. She didn't deserve you. Time fixes everything." But what no one tells you is that breakups born from betrayal feel different. They don't just end the relationship. They end the version of yourself that trusted without question, that believed love was enough. Claire's confession gave me the closure I didn't ask for but needed. It carved a scar where my heart used to feel whole. And in that scar, I carry the lesson that not all confessions bring freedom. Some bring endings. I still wonder if she regrets it. If she lies awake some nights thinking of what we had, or if she's found peace in the arms of someone else. Maybe she has. As for me, I've learned that truth can be both medicine and poison. That night, in our kitchen, Claire chose to hand me poison, and I swallowed it because I had no choice. When confession turned into a breakup, I lost her, but I also lost the illusion that love, no matter how deep, is unbreakable. And maybe, just maybe, That's the truth I needed most. The first week, without Claire, was unbearable. I'd wake up reaching for her side of the bed, only to find cold sheets. My phone buzzed constantly. Friends checking in, my sister asking if I was okay, even co-workers who had somehow caught whispers. I ignored most of it. The silence in that motel room was louder than any words Claire could have spoken. I replayed everything. The moment she looked up at me with tears in her eyes, the weight of her confession, the way she said months. That word was a dagger I couldn't pull out. I told myself not to think about her. But memory is cruel. The way she laughed when she beat me at cards, the smell of her shampoo, the little post-it notes she used to leave on the fridge. Those moments felt like ghosts haunting me, reminders that the love I thought was mine had already belonged to someone else. When word spread, people took sides, as they always do. My best friend, David, was furious on my behalf. She doesn't deserve you, man. Forget her. You'll find better. He meant well, but his words only deepened my ache. I didn't want better. I wanted Claire, the version of her I thought I knew. Others were more complicated. My mother, soft-hearted as ever, said maybe she made a mistake. Sometimes people do foolish things when they're lost. I couldn't stand that defense. A mistake is tripping over a step, not sleeping with someone for months. And then there were the mutual friends, the ones who tiptoed around me, clearly aware of who Claire had been seeing. Their silence spoke volumes. I realized everyone had known something I hadn't. That betrayal cut twice as deep. 2 months later, she called. I almost didn't answer, but her name lit up my phone like an old wound. Against my better judgment, I picked up. Her voice was quiet, shaky. Hi, I just want to see how you're doing. The nerve of her, asking about me when she was the one who detonated our lives. But beneath my anger, curiosity flickered. Why do you care? I asked flatly. I still care about you, she whispered. I know I don't have the right, but I think about you every day. That night, she asked if we could meet. Against every logical part of me, I agreed. We met at the cafe where we'd had our first date. The irony wasn't lost on me. She looked smaller somehow, shoulders hunched, eyes ringed with regret. I'm sorry, she said immediately. I know sorry is enough. I know I don't deserve forgiveness. But I wanted you to hear it anyway. I studied her. The woman I once loved more than anyone sat before me. Yet she felt like a stranger. I saw her lips move, but all I could hear was the echo of her first confession. Do you love him? I asked, though I hated myself for needing to know. Her silence was my answer. Something in me finally broke then, not in a dramatic, angry way I expected, but in a quiet surrender. Then that's it, I said. We're done. For real this time. Tears streamed down her cheeks, but I didn't comfort her. For once, I chose myself. Months have passed since that final meeting. The ache is still there, though softer now, like a bruise fading with time. I've learned to live with the absence. I cooked dinner for one. I walked past our favorite park without flinching. I've even started talking to someone new. Not serious, but enough to remind me that my heart still beats. Claire's confession shattered us. Yes, but it also forced me to confront a truth I didn't want to face. Love isn't always forever. Sometimes it's a chapter, not the whole story. And when confession turns into a breakup, you don't just lose the person, you lose the version of yourself that believed in always. But maybe losing the